Orion's Quest!
How's it going, everybody? This is DuoTronix, and I am here today with a review for Transformers Kingdom War for Cybertron Trilogy Galvatron. And this guy, oh man, I've been waiting pretty much all my life for like a really good Galvatron figure. And I don't have any of the third-party stuff, so unfortunately I couldn't tell you what those are like. But as far as Hasbro, Takara offerings go, this is it. There he is in the box. He looks really fantastic. My copy, I think by the looks of it, I got the version where his arms are assembled correctly, and I hope that's the case too. But anyway, yeah, there he is in the box. And on this side, you've got the Galvatron art there, which is super cool. And the arc in the background. He's got the Matrix on him. Just super awesome. The cannon mode here, oh man. There we go. On the back, you have him in cannon mode and the robot mode as toy pictures. Looks really, really good. And then the Kingdom War for Cybertron art. But yeah, there he is in the box. Let's get this guy open. Okay, so here we have Galvatron out of the box. And yeah, this dude is fantastic. He's got a lot of weight to him. And as a figure, you know, he feels really nice and posable. He looks fantastic. This is definitely the greatest Galvatron that Hasbro has ever released. And I seem to have gotten the one with the shoulders put on the correct way, so that's a real relief. I was kind of dreading having to take those apart. I'm glad that I don't have to. Yeah, so he comes with the shoulder cannon. This thing comes off, and there's two different spots to put it on his forearm here, or his arm. So you can put it on the forearm, which was pretty much where it was mounted in the show. Or it was kind of like right here. But that's pretty perfect. Or you can put it up a little bit higher when he's kind of just chilling there, and that looks a little bit more show accurately normal. I guess, you know, they just drew it in different places. He also comes with the Matrix here, and the Matrix is exactly the same one Rodimus and Optimus come with, or Hot Rod, but it plugs into this chain, and you just put around his neck there. And so he's got the Matrix of Leadership, the stolen Matrix of Leadership, mind you, right around his neck. Looks pretty good. And he also comes with the two, like, yeah, it's the spaceships from the movie. So they go like this, but I think they're supposed to be, you know, they attach to his cannon mode somehow. I don't know. I think that's, you know, I'm glad they threw extra stuff in there, but because you gotta admit, that thing is pretty cool. Yeah, it's not the Nemesis, the Revenge. I think that's it, the Revenge. Anyway, but yeah, so that's the ship that Unicron gave him. This shall be your ship, you know. And he's got two of them, and they seem to act as guns of some sort. So you kind of look, it looks a little bit like Shockwave, you know, in his gun mode. And, you know, you can plug them in, I guess. I mean, he's got a lot of ports on him, so you can pretty much plug them in wherever you want them to go. And they're very cool, but I gotta say, for a show version of Galvatron, I don't think he really needs them. I might paint these things purple and just have them around. Maybe do a little bit of detail on these things. Take the matrix off for now and just look at the figure itself, because this guy, oh my gosh. Yeah, he's nice. This is a very cool Galvatron figure for sure. Look at that. Just look at it. He looks really good. This is a very, very accurate Galvatron figure. I mean, you know, there's some parts that are like slightly not G1 movie. Like for instance, the battle damage. Ugh, that's kind of bad. But as a matter of fact, let me do something about that. I'm gonna take that off of there. Okay, so here we have him without the battle damage. And it literally took me, 5 minutes. I took some 90% rubbing alcohol and it came right off. So yeah, that's what he looks like without it. And honestly, yeah, he looks way better to me. That's what he's supposed to look like. And he looks very much like the model that they used in Transformers Earthrise. I mean, with few, little differences and things like that, but I thought that was a pretty decent character model of him. So let's check out his articulation. He's got knee bend here, moves at the hip there. Oh, he's got some twist there in the upper thigh. And his leg will go out pretty far. He can do the karate sidekick there, because all of those parts stay together. So you can do that. He has ankle tilt, if that'll stay together there. But yeah, his ankles tilt. So you can sort of pose him like in the wide stances. His arms go all the way out, and without the cannon would go all the way up. Goes all the way around here. He's got the bicep rotation there at the top, and his elbow joint is on a double hinge, so he's got like he bends it all the way, He's got wrist rotation. That's pretty good. He's got waist rotation, and it looks like that's as far as it'll go with this back piece on there, but you can still twist them pretty far, about halfway there, as you can see. His head is on the ball joint and turns all the way around. Gotta love that. So he looks up a little bit, down a little bit. He moves around pretty good. And I think that's pretty much all the articulation you get. You can move these pieces here on the side out of the way so you can move his legs all around. And the treads on the back of his arm, they kind of move up and down. There's a little piece inside here that moves up and down as you want them to. I think these plug in back here, but from what I understand, it sort of limits rotation or articulation. If I can get it plugged in. There we go. And it still works pretty good. Let's get it plugged in on this side. So yeah, those are plugged in. Yeah, it doesn't twist at the bicep if you have this thing plugged in on the back. It still moves around though, So you can get some pretty good posing with that. But you don't have to plug these things in if you don't want to, because they kind of just sit in the same place anyway. Yeah, he really looks good.
I, Galvatron, will crush you just as Megatron crushed Prime.
So yeah, that's what he looks like in robot mode. Let's get him transformed to cannon mode and see what he looks like then. Okay, here we have Galvatron in his cannon mode, and it is a fantastic looking cannon mode. He looks very, very much like the G1 movie and cartoon, which I love. This thing is like really, really good looking. And I'll tell you one thing, this is the back of the cannon here, and on the package in the instructions it says to put it here, and it, you know, given it looks pretty good there, but it doesn't look like the movie. So what you can do is put it under here where these little pegs are. There's screw holes, I think, and it pegs in right there, so it's sort of out of the way and you can't even really see it. So he's still actually got it on him, you know, and he actually has like wheels down here and back here, so it kind of rolls, I guess, but you know, you're probably not going to run this thing down the highway here. It's not really that kind of vehicle. This is the coolest looking cannon mode that I've ever seen on a Galvatron figure, certainly. All in all, this thing is pretty good. I do see some of the battle damage. I guess I missed that. It doesn't stick out like the stuff on the chest did, but it doesn't look that bad. I'll probably take it off anyway, though. But yeah, that's what he looks like in cannon mode. Well, let's take a look at it all around here, because again, it's a pretty sweet cannon mode. It's very solid too. This thing is fantastic in that way. The cannon barrel looks great. So yeah, let's take a look at him with some other figures. Here he is with Cyclonus in his vehicle mode, and here he is with Scourge in his vehicle mode as well. And you know, I guess they scale together pretty good. Galvatron is a giant cannon, and these guys are, you know, regular size aircraft, because they scale up with all the Seekers, the first and second season Seekers. So yeah, that's what they look like together. So yeah, that's Galvatron in his cannon mode. This thing looks awesome. I really, really, really like this figure. But yeah, let's get him back to robot mode and see what happens next. All right, here we have Galvatron back in his robot mode, and I have given him a proper chain for his matrix, and I also cleaned off the paint on the bottom here because it, you know, didn't look that good. But this is Galvatron in his robot mode, and again, what a great robot mode it is. But yeah, I gave him the matrix here on the chain, which looks a lot better. Mine doesn't really hold in place quite like the plastic one here, but it looks a lot better, as you can see. But yeah, he looks really fantastic. This is a really, really awesome G1 Galvatron. So let's put him with some other Decepticons from Season 3 and see what he looks like next to those guys. Here he is with Cyclonus, his Scourge. That looks pretty good. And here he is with Skywarp and with Starscream from the commercial that he was in to introduce Galvatron. And here he is with Megatron, his former self. And here he is with Ultra Magnus, his arch nemesis. See what those guys look together? They're pretty much the same size, which, you know, looks pretty good. And here's Galvatron with Kingdom Rodimus Prime. He's a little taller than Kingdom Rodimus Prime, but you know, the Decepticons, they're supposed to be scary, so I think that looks pretty good. Makes it work out pretty well. And Galvatron also has ports for blast effects on his cannon, so if you want to plug a blast effect in, you can do that. I find the Scourge blast effects look best for this guy, but that's my personal opinion. But it looks pretty cool. So that's my review for Kingdom Galvatron. again, I've waited forever for a proper G1 Galvatron, and Hasbro really did it this time. This is the best Galvatron I've ever owned, hands down. I loved my G1 Galvatron, but this thing is unbelievably good. It looks just like the movie. It transforms just, into the cannon mode just like the movie. Yeah, I mean, they did an outstanding job. And with the addition of the chain on the Matrix, makes him look even better, without the battle damage. He really, really looks good. Yeah, definitely this is my favorite Galvatron that I've ever owned. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is DuoTronix. Thank you guys so much for subscribing. If you liked the video, please leave a comment. For those who have not subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment, let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys next time.